we're talking about being our authentic self. So this is the authentic me coming to you live from Selkirk. I
Recording in
asked you
progress.
guys here because I want to talk about this being my authentic self, us being our authentic selves. And it's such a big topic for me because I've been going through a lot this week. So I'm doing this 8-week course. And as I'm creating the course and doing it with the participants, I'm actually a participant during it. So all the information's up here, but I'm applying it because I'm like, okay, I want to see how this course works. So if I'm giving this homework to someone, I want to do the homework. I want to go through what they're going through and see, you know, what they're going through. And I've been having these breakthroughs along with everything else I do, but I'm just like, big breath. So a lot of you on the course already heard some of this, but I know I've actually made some personal calls saying, guys, I want to thank you all for being a part of my journey as I unravel more and more of me and realize that, the more we become ourselves, the more fun it is actually. And it's not caring what other people think. There are so many people out there, young, old, where we wonder, do I look good enough? Am I good enough? I still get shy to walk in a room with other people I don't know because actually I don't, not as much. It's not nearly what it used to be. When I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, is my hair okay? Is this okay? Or, but nowadays I still like having my hair done. And I don't know if that's a vain thing. I haven't figured that out. And I still like to have a good smelling body and shower every day. And I don't really want that stuff to ever end. But what I am really breaking out of is I used to be the best girlfriend, the best wife, the best coworker, the best worker, the best student, the best friend, the best mom, the best whatever, best daughter, you name it, the best sister. And as I started to heal 15 years ago, I started this real big journey. I started taking off some of those hats. And what happened along the way is I wasn't the best wife anymore. I wasn't the best sister anymore. I wasn't the best friend anymore. I wasn't the best mom anymore. I wasn't the best, a lot of things, best friend anymore. And relationships started to change. As they change and I started to really reclaim who I was, the core relationships in my life got better because as I started to respect my boundaries and respect myself, the ones around me started to do the same. And very recently, my son sat with me and he said, and I know this is going on live YouTube, so this is like, he said, Mom, I respect you more than I ever have. I don't even know if I respected you before. And he's like, he's just contemplating that. And I said, you know what? How could have you respected me when I didn't even respect myself? Meaning, I was the mom that used to do everyone's laundry, cook dinner, clean the dishes, do whatever. Because I didn't need help. I was super mom. I did everything. And then as I started to work on myself, I started to realize this is not who I can't sustain this anymore. I can't be this person that everyone wants me to be, the taxi driver, this and that. Or I can't be that best friend who's there for everyone else and it wasn't reciprocated. Or, I was that person that, oh, I know these people really want me to go. I should go. I don't want to go, but I'll go because they want me there. So I was tapping myself out in every direction, working till 2 in the morning for some of my jobs, doing projects. And, this deadline has to be, don't worry, Brenda will do it. Of course I will, because I'm the best employee. I'm the best this, I'm the best that. I lost my way. I lost who I was. But at that time, I didn't want to look at who I was. So losing myself in work and losing myself in chores and losing myself in everyone else's stuff was fine by me because I didn't have to really look in the mirror and see who I was. But what happened in my case is my body gave up. My body just said, I'm done. And that's when I got very sick. Before that, I had shingles many times, liver issues. But what was creeping up was my kidneys, and my kidneys could fail any time, my doctor said. They said, we don't know what's wrong with you because your blood work is actually really good. It's funny because I had shingles 3 times before I was 50, in my 30s and 40s. And I had liver issues, a lot of things going on in my body. And my doctor was so concerned. She's like, let's send you to the infectious disease doctor and let him do check up because we don't know what's going on with you. And when I remember waiting, and I was in a daze because I was not feeling good in those days. So I remember waiting, and he came out with the results, and he goes, if I was single, I would marry you based on your blood work. It is so clean. Because I don't see, why did your doctor even send this to me? I said, because I'm constantly sick. I have this going on in my body, this. And he's like, there's nothing in your blood that is saying that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's when I laid down and surrendered to God, saying, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. I just laid there and said, either take me overnight and don't let me wake up, or if I'm meant to be here, show me what I'm supposed to do, because I'm so messed up. I was in an emotional mess. I was in a financial mess. I was in a relationship mess. I was in every aspect that I could be a mess in, and that was me. So I woke up the next morning and life changed. One synchronicity after another. It was like this pull in my heart led me to one thing and one thing and one thing. And it was so interesting because none of the things made sense. So I went from being in a job, my boss did something really bad to me that day. And the old Brenda would have said, oh, well, that was really rude. He's having a bad day. I love everyone, love everything. Let them treat me like crap. But that day, I said, no. If I'm still on this planet, I'm not taking this anymore. And I sent out my resume. In 20 minutes, I got a call. I jumped on that interview, and 3 weeks later, I was working for Maple Leaf Foods. I was in pension benefits head office, and I was invited to a party. No one knew me, but they invited me to a party, and I went. And I went to this party, and they said a psychic's going to be there. I said, I don't do psychic readings. Heaven forbid, they're going to tell me I'm going to die, or I don't want to hear it. I don't really want to hear it. And so I go to the party. They said, oh, there's 14 girls. We're just going to gibber. And 4 girls are going to be red, but you're not one of them. And then the psychic came down and said, I need to read someone else because someone didn't show up. She goes, I need to talk to you. I said, oh, no, not me. But then she said something about my son. And my son, beautiful, beautiful child, was a little behavioral because what I learned later on, he was very psychic. And because of that, so much energy bombarding him, it was hard for him to function. So I was told to get him beam therapy from the psychic. Then she told me I was supposed to be a healer because I healed my dog when I was 14 or 15. And then she said something about my relationship. I won't comment on that, but it wasn't healthy. And I need to really fix myself. And I couldn't really hear the things about me, the relationship, the healer thing. But what I heard was, get your son some help, beam therapy. And I did. And he got better. And I was intrigued. And then I called Dr. Beatty. And I started my healing journey even more intensely. But what I found is my higher self had to speak to me, not through, Brenda, you need help. Because I would have never put myself first. But what they did is they went through my son, because I would do anything for my kids. So Barn to Beam Therapy led me into beam therapy. And what happened when my healing journey started, and a lot of you that are on this call today know what happens to yourselves during this. It's this emotional roller coaster. I feel great, I'm losing it. I feel great, I'm losing it. I feel great, I'm losing it. And the one thing that I would say in today's age is, as we are working to go into our real deep selves, it is uncomfortable, it is hard, it is, sometimes you just want to rip off your skin, you want to scream and shout. You're not crazy. And if I can stay here in front of all of you and say, you know what, during these healing journeys, as humanity faces their demons, our own demons, it's not just the dark night of the soul, It is the dark years of the soul. It is looking within to those fears, to those worries, to those anxieties, to those negative beliefs, to those traumas that we've been through or won't kind of look at because they're so deeply repressed. But when you start that healing journey, these things need to come to the surface. They need to be faced. Because if you don't face your demons, you're not going to get to that next step. I faced many, many demons, negative beliefs, silly things that I did in the past, where I walked into danger willingly because I figured, well, who cares? You know, sometimes I look back at all the crazy, reckless things I did as a kid because I just didn't care if I lived or died sometimes because life was so difficult. I remember I used to bike ride to school and it was all uphill on the way to school. I lived 1.6 kilometers away from school. So we were just at the border. We're in bust. And then coming home is all downhill. And when you went downhill, there was a kind of a major road you had to cross to go down my street. I never stopped. I just went through it. Now, can you imagine if you found out your kid wasn't stopping at the stop street? Like now I would be mortified. Are you crazy? You can never do that. I did it all the time. And I said, if I'm ready to go, well, then take me. And I never got hit. But there was one time that I guess I got close by and I scared the driver and she followed me and she gave me a ripping. But I didn't care. I'm like, all right, well, I'm still here. You're still here. All right, have a good day. And I'll walk away. And she's like, tell me where you live. I'm like, I'm not telling you where I live. I don't want my parents to know what I did. I knew it was silly, but it was something that I just didn't care. Why? Because I was so numb. And a lot of us go through life feeling numb. I remember when I fell into the arms of Dr. Beatty, I told her as I was getting these healings, I said, it's like the third time I came, like I feel nothing. But there's something in my heart that says to keep coming, but I feel nothing. And she says, it's because you're so numb. I didn't know the difference between anxiety or excitement. I didn't know when I was happy or when I wasn't. But I could feel everyone around me. I knew when that person was excited. I knew when that person was mad. I knew that person was not pleased with me. I knew where that person really liked me. And then I just learned very, very young how to please everyone. I was a smiley kid at school. I didn't try to get in arguments. Wasn't in the cool crowd. I was just kind of floating around being. And when I felt someone sad, I would go talk to them. And if I felt someone mad at me, I'd avoid them. Or I try to please them. I became this massive pleaser. Oh, I got to please everyone. And I lost my way. Really, really lost my way. But we are in this beautiful age of healing. And for those of you who feel that pull in your heart, be courageous and do the work. But I'm going to tell you something. It's not easy. And I'd be lying if I said it's easy. And there's all these words out there nowadays, and there's a lot of mainstream things happening like, oh, there's spiritual bypass, or, you can bypass this by taking, and I'm not against mushrooms or ayahuasca, nothing like that. But they don't get rid of everything. They are teachers in a way. They help you move through some stuff. I would say, like, sometimes if someone were to do something like this, like getting 10 beam sessions at once. But when you go through 10 beam sessions that quickly, well, you're going to have the throwing up, the sweating, all that gross stuff people have to go through when they're purging through those things. But then we have people who get a little bit addicted to it because they're thinking they're just going to get bypassed. What I've learned is there's a lot of stuff that can leave during energy sessions. But those tough lessons that you have to learn, the only way through them is you have to go through them and face them. Recently I've been through some pretty heavy stuff, and, my partner is Sim. He's pretty amazing. He thinks I'm amazing. I think he's amazing. We both work very differently. But I asked him, I begged him, please make this go away. I'll do anything. I'll do anything for the world, for humanity. Just make this go away. And what did he say? Nothing can make this go away. This is one of your challenges and themes you came to learn. You have to suck it up and do the work. And if you have to go and kick a tree, go and kick a tree. If you want to yell and scream, go ahead. But you're not going to get away from this. Because if you ignore this situation, it's going to come back again. And it's going to come back again. It's going to come back again until you face it. Now, has anyone been in that situation where no matter how hard they try to stop looking at something, like that big boulder in the room, that pedal where I'm not going to even look at it, it's there, and we live our lives avoiding it and avoiding it and avoiding it, and then you have no choice because it's there and you need to get across it, around it, and the only way is through it. So then you have to go through it. And we've all, I know a lot of you on the call, we all have our challenges. And what I will say is, dear light worker, dear old soul, the ones that came in with the most horrific stuff, the most traumas, the most heaviest things, you are here to lead the way. But what's going to happen is that heaviness you came in, those heavy themes, it is going to catapult you further than you can imagine in a very positive way as you start to heal. Oh, they're just reading here. Someone said everything I'm saying is so spot on. Well, the reason it's so spot on and the reason you can resonate with the words is because I attract old souls and light workers. Sometimes I do have clients that come that are, I would call them humans that are here enjoying this ride of humanity during this exciting time. But that's what they came to do, enjoy humanity. And their lives are a bit easier. And they snap out of things so fast. One session sometimes and they're done. And I used to look at them in envy, saying, how is that possible? How did that girl, whose whole life seemed a mess when she sat in front of me, and now she's calling me, Brenda, this happened and this happened and this happened and this, and everything's great. And I'm just like, I've been working on myself for how long? And like, this is still a mess, that's still a mess, this is still a mess. How many layers and layers and layers have I had to gone through? It's been endless. I work on myself every single day for the last 15 years, and there's still more popping up. But I'm so much lighter now. I have so much more connection with who I am. There's this numb feeling. So someone's saying they can relate to the numb feeling. Yeah, it's, when I'll jump back to that because it's so interesting with the numb feeling. Excitement and anxiety feel very much the same. Just like tiredness and hunger kind of trigger the same place in your brain. When you're tired, you can feel hungry because they're so close. So that was something I learned along the way because I was extremely tired at once and I kept eating. I'm so hungry. It's just, I was actually tired. So numbness, that anxiety, and you don't even know what you're feeling anymore. You're so lost. But I'm hoping as you're going through the healings, you're starting to feel those emotions again. Because what happens is humans are funny. We're beautiful creatures. Beautiful. We're so complicated. But we have this beautiful energetic system. And we are supposed to feel everything that comes through. But what do we do when we feel love, joy, happiness? We're like, yeah. And we let that flow through right to the end. Great. But what happens when we feel sadness, hurt, shame, embarrassment? We repress it and it gets stuck. And now it's a stuck energetic pattern. And then we have more and more. You can imagine, I know a lot of us had some really interesting childhoods, how much negativity that we repressed. So now you go through life. Most of us don't even remember our childhood. Why? Because we have so much repressed emotions in there. Now we're asking ourselves to heal. Well, we're breaking up our emotional field and things are trickling down. But while you're in that, the first few years, you know what? You start to get less numb. But the first time when you start waking up, completely numb. Some people can't even cry. I mean, how many people out there can't even cry? Because they're just so done. Now, some people say, well, I've cried all my life. I just stopped crying. but you've hit to a point where you've just become numb because you can't deal with it anymore. You're in survival. You're in survival. So today, finding your authenticity is really going in and looking at those parts of you that make you very uncomfortable and letting go of the safety net. The safety net is that my safety net is I don't want to be too weird because, I'm on YouTube. I say things out loud. If I'm too weird, corporate might not even want to look at me. Maybe I'll never be able to get a corporate job again. That's my safety net. See, if this doesn't work out, I need something. Well, sometimes you got to cut that safety net and say, okay, you know what? I'm done. I know some other people who said, hey, you know what? I have people who are in the industry with me. They don't treat me nice, but I'm going to stay latched onto them because they're my safety net. Or sometimes our safety net is, I'm going to stay in this relationship, although it's not serving me, because it's my safety net. And I went through a divorce, and it's pretty icky feeling, But I think I did it with lots of ease and grace. I really sent the other person love and tried to stay as balanced as possible. Although inside I was falling apart, and I did a lot of private work on through that to get me through it. And but if you think about those safety nets, what's your safety net? What are you scared to let go of that is not you? Is not you know it's holding you back, but you're just too scared to let it go. Now, I'm not saying let it go tonight. I'm not saying, hey, tonight we're letting things go. But what we are going to do when we get into this healing today is we're going to let go of some of that resistance that brings in those feelings like I can't do it alone. I'm too scared. I'm not good enough. Those false negative beliefs that are no longer serving you. They're time to let them go. So we'll chip away at a lot today. And how we heal layer by layer, it's exactly that. It's not up for me to say what's going to come up in your layer. It's not up for you really to say what's coming up for your layer. Our physical minds, we so like to think and imagine what's this going to happen, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. It's all just making stuff up. It doesn't know. Our physical minds do not create. We experience and we process what we experienced. It's actually our higher mind that knows exactly where we need to go, and it's guiding us there. Now what happens is we don't go there. We don't take the easiest route because our physical mind thinks, no, that's illogical. That passion and excitement that came through doesn't make sense. I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to push my way through this way. And we go uphill and we fight and things aren't working. But we're so motivated. That's one thing I notice about you old souls out there. We're so friggin' motivated and somewhat stubborn. Anyone here feel like they're stubborn? And sometimes it's good.
I'll take stubborn, thank you.
And sometimes it's for our good because we keep going at least. But sometimes it's to our detriment. So, sometimes I have to hear something 100 times. Not so much now. Now, if I hear something once, I'm like, wait a second. Why was that said to me? Okay, and I'll write it down. And then it's said to me again. And then, okay, that's it. 1, 2, 3 times, I am now listening. But before, I used to drive my kid crazy. He's very wise. And he would tell me, Mom, you need to do this. And then I go through 6 months of struggling, and then hearing other messages. And then someone tells me for the 100th time, and it clicks. And then I'll go back to my son, guess what? I just had a shift. I learned something new. And he just wants to strangle me. He's like, Mom, what's wrong with you? I told you that 6 months ago. And now he realizes I had so much resistance, so much stubbornness that my ego's like, it's got to be done this way. It can't be that easy. If your inner being is taking you, although it seems like it's not the right way, it's so much faster if you stop fighting. Instead of doing all this, you can get to the same point sometimes, but there's a faster way to do it. If you're going in, being more yourself, letting go of pleasing people and just please yourself, and not stop worrying what people are going to say. It's really interesting because there's always going to be the people that love you and the people that don't like you. But remember when I told you that I was the best people pleaser? I believe everyone liked me. If you asked me back then, who doesn't like me? Maybe, but I think everyone likes me. Why did they like me? Because I wasn't me. I was what they wanted. Like I said, I was the best this, I was the best that. Could be the best anything because I could read what people wanted. So when I started becoming more myself, ask me how many people like me now. Not many people like me. I have a lot of people that dislike me. And every time I make a shift and do something else, I even have more people that don't like me. And I even have people like on social media saying, "You want to go? You want to send me that positive energy? I'll take you on with your positive energy." I'm like, okay, I have nothing to prove to you, whoever you are. But it's really interesting because the more you become in your power and you look at okay, you just be you. But you're going to have people that love you and you're going to have people that don't like you. And if you have a message to the world and you want to say something, then say it. And I know I've encouraged some people, you know what? Take what happened to you and go out there and throw it on YouTube and be authentic and I'm awesome. And people are going to love it and they need it. And then I was too scared to do the same. Now I'm pretty open on the internet. I am, especially with the clients one-on-one or private groups, I'm pretty authentic. But when it comes out to putting your way out there, there's hesitation. And my hesitation was the fear of, say if corporate doesn't like me anymore. Well, I can tell you, I've come to a point, and there's been a lot of healing to say, hey, listen, I love corporate life sometimes. I do. I respect it for what it is. But what I respect more is who I truly am and how I'm here to serve humanity. And I do have a gift. I have a gift to release dark energy, possessions, black magic. I don't know. I can do it. And I transform people's lives. And I've seen people who are on the verge of wanting to commit suicide and they're thriving. And I've been blessed with this gift. And I've had it since I was a kid. And I'm a lot older now. And I understand how it works. I understand how not to be scared of it. I understand what to do. And that's why I'm here, to serve humanity and to show people that you can go through life being scared of who you are or being frightened to be seen, or you can take it by the horns and just face those fears, tackle them one by one, and get into that authentic self, allow it to shine. You're already magnificent. You're already perfect as you are. And every time you do work, you're becoming a better version of yourself. But not say we're not perfect right now. Like we want to honor ourselves now and say where I am is perfect and evolving. And then when you do some work, now you're a new version of yourself and you're perfect and evolving. And what we're doing is we're shifting to who we truly are over time. But it's layer by layer. So be patient with yourself. And those fears that are hiding in the background and they look too big to look at, you know what? Be patient. Because one day you're going to look at them and say, it wasn't that scary. But the reason you're going to say that is because of all the work you did to that date. So be very proud of yourself to where you are. Give yourself those pats on the back. And really just love where you are and relish the joy of it. Because I know there's goals. We all make goals. But getting to those goals is the exciting part. Finding out the challenges and the fears that we're facing. Why did this person upset me by their little sly comment? Why did that bother me? What is it in me that's bothered? That little girl that was told she was ugly or stupid? Okay, well, you know what? Bring her up for healing. Bring up that little boy who needs healing. Talk to them. Bring them out and don't let your fears stop from shining your light, because it is now, in this age, we are now in the age of Aquarius. We're in exciting times. You're needed now to shine your light. And you can shine your light even with your imperfections and with the learnings that still need to be done. I've been doing what I've been doing all this time while I was healing myself. And I'm still healing myself and I'll never stop. So am I going to wait until I'm perfect? No, because I'll never be perfect, I don't think, until I have those interactions with clients, because I learn from every client. I learn something new about myself. Or co-creating. So look at everything that happens in your life, no matter how challenging the situation is. Look at it as exciting. Who am I going to be after this? Who am I learning to be? What fears am I learning about? What childhood traumas am I healing? And you might not always know, but you're still healing layer by layer, even though you don't know always what's in it. There's a lot of things that we don't need to know as they heal. But you do the work. You do the work. And you will notice the results. I could go on and talk more about this, but I would really like to bring us into a healing today. A healing about tapping in to this brave new side of yours, where you let your fears go and you start to really tap in to your authentic selves. Take a deep breath, everyone. I'm going to read the chat. Does anyone have any questions? I'm just going to take a look here. Okay. A lot of stubborn people like me. Thank you. Yeah, I think we're all chameleons, and we do it so well. And we don't even know we do. We even get lost in that chameleon thing. We're all shifting all the time. I look back at how much I was not myself. Where I actually, the only place as a kid or even growing up where I was myself was when I would walk alone or with my dog in a forest. I could sit in the forest and by a tree all day, because that's where and I think I loved it so much because that's where I was really me. Because the forest doesn't care what you look like. I used to have little birds. I would not say run away, but I used to run away a lot and go sit in the Etobicoke Creek under a tree, and the tree knew me. And there were these little birds. I think they're called sandpipers because I have them on my property now. And their little babies run and chase the parents, and they're very cute. Because I was just a part of this tree, these little birds were not scared of me. I used to go and they used to walk, and I used to just be mesmerized by how adorable they were. I never tried to catch them. Squirrels would come around. I felt like Snow White. I always felt like I could just live here and be like Snow White. That was my favorite place because that's where I could be me. Someone here said, I did that same 4 years ago. I used to write poetry, which helped me to heal, but eventually after deleting my Instagram channel, what would corporate think of you? And you know what? I believe if you're looking for a job and you have stuff on social media, I believe their AIs are doing their searches and say, oh no, not this one. She's way too feisty what she talks about on the internet. I don't know. But I believe there's already a flag on me, and it's okay. So you know what I just decided? I'm just going to be me. I only say things to help humanity. I would like people to realize that, these mental health issues we're going where we're all embarrassed to say, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm so messed up. Just let that be a thing of the past, because I don't care what walk of life we're all from. What I've been seeing is we're all going through it. The people who have awoken, the people who are awakening and realizing there's more, and they start to go through this dark night of the soul, this who am I? Why am I feeling this way? Why would I have these weird thoughts? Sometimes I have professionals saying, oh, Brenda, you won't believe what happened to me, but I saw something uncloak in the office and it wasn't human. And they're like, do you think I'm crazy, right? I'm like, no. There's a lot more to this world than we know. Or, someone will say, I'm having like nervous breakdowns every night, panic attacks, and I'm an owner of a company and I have to keep it together, but I'm falling apart inside because something's happening and I don't know what it is. And I've had some pretty interesting chats with a lot of different people of all different walks of life that have to keep it together because of the public eye, but they're falling apart inside. And I think I would like people to know it's okay to fall apart And no, it's part of the human experience of becoming who we truly are. It's releasing that dense energy and allowing the light. And we have to do it in stages. And sometimes it's easy, right? We're on this like, oh yeah, this, I got it now. I'm good. And then it's like, oh no, something else is coming up to the surface. And as we're talking, something's bubbling up right now. And it might be one of you guys. So let's get into the healing and release whatever needs to come out. Oh, look, yeah. So go talk to trees. I talk to trees all the time again. I love my animals. I have a lot of animals where I live at home right now. Cats, bunny, pigeons, dog, peacocks. What else? Chickens. Anyway, and I'm trying to get everyone to get along. And I realize a dog is a dog and a cat's a cat and a bunny's a bunny, but the cat and the bunnies get along fine. And the cat are fine with the birds. They will protect our birds, to be quite honest. You know, they'll be walking around and my cat will just sit there and watch the birds because he knows they're family, they're friends. So we're still working. I'm trying unconditional love and patience to at least get tolerance between all our animals. So really interesting. Oh, something's coming up. Someone's saying it's me. Something's coming out of my throat. I'm feeling you. Okay. Well, whether you're watching this live or on a replay, because this is going to go on YouTube if I have the courage to throw it out there. But you know what? I can't just talk. I got to walk the walk. So for that, and as a as my next step, this will go on YouTube just the way it is. All right, so let's get into the healing. I'm going to play the music and just let whatever needs to come out come out. I'm just going to drink some water, and thank you all for listening to that. I think it just needed to be said, and it's been said. So let's own who we are, people. We're human beings. We're much more powerful than we know. We're so powerful. Let's let all these traumas and belief systems and resistance that really isn't who we are. Let's let it go and let's own who we are. Let's be that confident person that can walk in any situation and say, this is what I look like. This is who I am. And I love this version of me. Yeah, I may wake up another day and be a different version of me, but for now, this is who I love. And forgive all those different versions of you who did some silly things, embarrassing things, dangerous things, whatever. Let it go because you didn't know better. That was a different version of you. And look how far you've come. So, dear light worker, let's get some music on and let's get some healing going on. Because this is going to go on YouTube, I do have to play the music that I'm allowed to play. So we're going to pull up my playlist right now. We'll get this going. All right. It's called the Tuesday Meditation List. And I'm playing the music. Actually, I quite like this music now. All right. Please tell me how the balance is, the music, the talking music. I'm going to drink a little bit of my throat coat tea. Okay, the music's okay? You can't hear it? I need someone to respond. Okay. Okay, thank you, Amy. Thank you. All right, perfect. Once I start, I can't really, I'm peeking to see if anybody has a question, but once I get into that zone, sometimes I get into that zone. Sometimes I just want to melt and fly away, and I keep myself here for you guys. Otherwise, the call could be 3 hours as we float into a beautiful meditation. So we'll go for the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Getting comfortable, you may be laying down or sitting down. Whichever is comfortable, it's totally up to you. There's no right or wrong. But today we're in for a special treat. And why? There are so many beings of light here. And they seem to collect more as the weeks go by. And someone asked me, who do you work with? Like someone has a team. Is it Cryon? Is it Bashar? Is it, what comes through you? And I can only respond at this time as infinite intelligence, Christ consciousness. And there are so many different beings from so many different, I can't explain it, places. And I say, let's stop asking and let's start healing. Let's start accepting the love that comes through. Because these beings of light are working 100% with divinity. They know who you are. They're going to be working with your higher self. And your higher self knows exactly where you've been, what you need to release, where you're going, what you're going through. And you are loved beyond measure. So you can just simply say, I'm ready to release any blocks, resistance, any patterns, anything. I'm just ready to let go. Anything that I'm ready to let go. And I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to be with the process. And I know during this process, I am protected by the love of God. I am loved beyond measure. And anything that happens is for my highest good. And with that knowing, allowing deep breaths. And some might feel emotional as this is happening, because we're already bubbling up. This whole talk was about being our authentic selves. How can I be my authentic self, Brenda? When I know, my siblings aren't going to like it, or my spouse isn't going to like it, or my coworkers aren't going to like it. You'd be surprised how many people will fall in love with that true version of you. And they might envy your courage for being that version of you. So wouldn't it be nice if that resistance that comes in the way, and if you were to think about yourself like, oh, I would just love to write poetry again online, or I'd love to spread good news online, and that fear that comes up, thinking about that, well, bring that fear to the surface today, that resistance, those blocks, and say, hey, I'm ready to face you. Because what's inside my heart is needed by humanity more than ever before. It's that calling I have within me that says, yes, I'm ready to shine. So let's allow those emotions, allow those fears and worries, allow those memories, those old negative beliefs that are no longer serving you. Those traumas that said you're weird, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, whatever it was. And there's not just one, there's lots of stuff. Whatever's ready to come to the surface today, allow it to come through. And if you're feeling emotional, need to cry, allow those tears. There's nothing that can hold back those tears. Let them come through. And I know someone in the chat said, I can't cry. Well, perhaps you can cry. And maybe tonight's the day that you do it. And maybe if it's not today, it's another day. But those emotions need to come to the surface. The anger needs to come to the surface. You have a right to be angry for feeling mistreated in the past. And when those anger feelings come up, allow them to come to the surface, but release them in a safe, healthy way. And if you have a pillow and you want to punch the pillow beside you, go ahead. But if you're allowing this love, maybe it's just starting to melt it away for you. We're all very different, but there's no right or wrong. But those feelings that are coming to the surface can be uncomfortable, even in a physical sense. Sometimes I get this weird feeling from my chest to my knees, and it aches as something's releasing. And sometimes it slips away so easily with just a tear. Those layers that come up for healing, whatever's in those layers, is what needs to release now. You're being guided by your higher self. Your higher self right now is pulling up these old emotions, old memories, old traumas. But it's not limited to that. It's what we consider, what we talk about, past lives or lives that we're connected to, where we were maybe ridiculed and hurt for being different. It could be memories from when we were in our mom's tummy and she wasn't having a good pregnancy. In some cases, maybe our moms didn't want us at that time. Maybe it wasn't the best time to be pregnant. It wasn't a safe time to be pregnant. And you're this little baby in her tummy and you're feeling her anxiety. And then parents might be fighting and you're sensing that. So we're born with resistance already. And then we collect our dysfunctional patterns from our mom's side and our dad's side and our ancestral wounds. We're so complicated, dear ones. But we came to have this experience, this human experience, to grow as a soul. You signed up for this. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun yet, I get it. So let's release some of that resistance. Let this healing weave through your system with this beautiful white light. Whatever is happening right now for you is perfect. Let's let go of the shame and embarrassment of healing. Let's let go of the need to have it all together all the time. And say, hey, I raise my hand, I'm human. And I have emotions. And sometimes I feel like a mess. And sometimes I feel connected. And then I feel like a mess again. Then I feel connected again. And it's this wave, a roller coaster going up and down. But it is to be human, and I honor it. And I'm so grateful to have this experience. Because with every healing, I get closer to that me, that authentic part of me inside that I know is ready to beam out. You came here for great purpose. You came here to shine. You came here to hold the light for those who can't. Why? Because you're a magnificent being of light. You came with a mission to help humanity. You are the light workers and old souls that were probably first in line, excited to come. I want you to remember that. Because we do know how difficult it is to be human. Especially in these times of change, where we're being pushed to go very deep to that human psyche, into those multi-dimensional parts of us, to those deep layers of hurt, negative beliefs, to that bad programming that we were given. It's time to break free. And you're going to do it as fast as you can, as slow as you need to. There's always another day. And actually, there's always even another lifetime. But I know you guys here, the ones listening, you have this urgency, this motivation, this excitement to shine. But then that resistance comes back and says, no, who do you think you are? You're not good enough. Well, let's let those I'm not good enough, you're not good enough, melt away and be replaced with you are perfect, you're magnificent, you're intelligent, you're strong, and you're reconnected to your power. You are powerful. You are kind and compassionate. You have prudence and discernment, and you're making the right decisions in your higher mind, your divine mind, So you're avoiding any roadblocks or any pitfalls. If you listen to that inner guidance within you, it is going to show you that next best step. Follow your excitement, follow your passion, and avoid those holes, those pitfalls, those falling off the cliffs. There's no need to struggle up the mountain anymore. You struggled long enough. It is now the time to reap the rewards of all your hard work. So as things come up for healing today and every other day, I want you to be fearless. I want you to acknowledge the feelings as they come to the forefront. And say, I may not know exactly where this is, but I remember this feeling and it feels pretty crappy. But I'm going to look at it in the eye. I'm going to ask the love of God, these beautiful beings of light, our spirit guides, our soul groups, our higher self, to dissolve, transmute these old patterns of behavior, these old thoughts, these non-serving energetic patterns, and replace them with God's love and light. And you're going to feel your light quotient increasing, your vibration increasing, your frequency increasing. You might start feeling buzzing going on. You might feel waves of light moving up and down your body. A beautiful connection to Mother Earth, and a beautiful connection to the stars. And we really want to be thankful that we're here on this planet. So we want to stay grounded to Mother Earth. We don't want to escape in the stars. It's nice to visit in those nice meditative states, but we also want to anchor in that beautiful energy onto the earth as we bring heaven on earth. And that's what we're doing. We've come in to fill up some pretty tall orders. But I know we can do it because we are supported, unlimitedly supported, by the angelic realm, our spirit guides, beings of light. We can't get any more support than we have. The support is so profoundly there. The key is we need to ask for the help. So whenever you're feeling not so good, a little off balance, a little low in the emotions, be okay with that and ask for help to release the pain, sadness, the physical pain that you might be going through, the emotional turmoil, the mental turmoil. You're feeling so loved, so comforted as this healing is taking place. It's almost like we're floating in the stars in this beautiful galaxy, this velvet darkness wrapping around us. We're letting go of all the stuff, all the energetic patterns, all that heaviness. We don't even know what it is, but it's leaving our system. And it's being replaced by a weaving of golden light. a healing energy. And with this, as you start to reconnect with that magnificence, you're tapping into that authentic self. You're getting messages. And they can be in your subconscious mind, they may come through dreams, or they might be very clear messages. You're doing a great job. We're so proud of you. We know it's hard, but keep going. Invest the time in you. We have so much support, but it's us that needs to do the work. We need to take the actions. We need to face those dark parts of us. We need to be strong, determined, passionate, excited. What I would love you to do now, and I'm doing this for everyone on the call and anyone who will ever listen to this, I am seeing you in your magnificence, in perfect health, in a beautiful connection to who you are, in a balanced state in the emotions, a beautiful, clear mental state. I see you in balanced, loving relationships. I see you in health and in wealth and abundance and laughter and joy. I want you to hold that image of you, knowing where you are is perfect. And when you own that perfectness and you allow the healings to happen layer by layer, knowing that you're getting closer and closer to really being that beautiful, complete aspect of you. And we know there's no rush. We're going to do the work to get there. We're going to have as much fun along the way. We're going to allow the love of God and our support of these spirit guides and beautiful beings of light to help us along the way. We're going to ask for help when we need it. We're going to use our support groups. We're going to meditate. We're going to reflect and journal. We're going to go into beautiful places we've never been before, with courage and dedication, as we start to pick apart what makes us think. Why was I triggered by that person? What challenges am I going to go through today so I can understand who I am? Looking at every experience that comes my way with excitement of what am I going to learn from it. We are so blessed to be on this planet. We thank Mother Earth for having us. Thanks, Mother Earth, for allowing us to have this human experience. Thank the people that have heard us, made us laugh, because we learn from all our experiences. We're going to forgive ourselves and forgive others. We're going to add more positivity and positive thoughts in our lives as we move forward. And the days where we don't, that's okay. We're going to be kind and compassionate to ourselves. There's a lot of healing happening here tonight. It's powerful. You might be excited after this. You might want to drift off to sleep and dream. But But if you have those aha moments, those memories that you release, something that you feel like you want to jot down so you don't forget, please do so. But if you don't remember, know that you released something big, but you can't figure out what it was, that's okay. Sometimes we don't need to know what's gone. We heal just the same. Sometimes facing our fears, we don't even know what they are, it's just a feeling. So allow those feelings to come to the surface and let them go. Be courageous and be brave. And then celebrate the wins. Pat yourself on the back. Be compassionate. Be kind. This healing that we're all going through isn't always so easy. But I want you to know you are loved beyond measure. You are magnificent. You are divinity. And with that being said, before I close this meditation today, because we are all in such a state of love, I ask you to go into your heart center. Feel the warmth of this powerful, magnificent light. And together we're going to send Mother Earth a beam of light so powerful, so loving, so grand. The love is moving out of all of us in this big wave as it starts to surround Mother Earth, weaving through her landscapes, healing the water in this planet, the air molecules, the trees, the animals, the marine life. And as this is happening, every human is being surrounded by this love of God, this healing light. And of course, we can't force anyone to use it, but if their higher self is willing, wouldn't it be nice if many, many, many souls heal tonight and reclaim their magnificence and know their worth in whatever situation they're in? May it bring peace and healing. May it touch the hearts of children, of the elderly, and everyone in between. We're all in this together. And as we shine our light and send out our light, we are doing a wonderful service to humanity and beyond. And this beautiful beam of light that's weaving through, touching the hearts of humans and plants and animals, it is healing human consciousness. As we go through our own personal healings between the light and the dark, the contrast, the duality, the human consciousness as a whole is doing this as well. It's an individual healing. It is a human consciousness healing as we make our way through this ascension process. Feeling that love, knowing that we're reconnecting to our authentic selves more each day. What we bless blesses us back. So allow this blessing to come back to you. Allow a profound healing very deep within every cell. And now we are going to expand this healing beyond Mother Earth to the stars, the Milky Way, the galaxy, and beyond. We're sending this healing back to the beautiful beings of light that support us and love us. To the ETs, the angels, our spirit animals, what other names we want to use, God, Source, the universe, the multiverse. We are all one. Allowing that blessing back to you, feeling that tingling sensation. You might feel it up and down your spine. You might feel a big hug. You are now in balance and reconnection, and you are closer to that magnificent being that you truly are. And I thank you for joining. I thank you for listening, and I thank you for co-creating this healing event. Thank you. It is with tremendous gratitude. That was beautiful and very powerful. And for those of you who are ready to come back, you want to move your body, start to ground yourself back to the present moment. And for those who wish to stay in that beautiful healing space, you may do so. And in just a moment, I'm going to take out the singing bowl. You're very welcome. I'm giving it a moment. Is there somebody still clearing? Good night, Amy. Enjoy it. Alright, bringing down the music. There we go. I am going to bring out the bowl. So if you wish to stay in the meditation, just simply hang up. The bowl tends to bring people out of it. Helps process, but Okay, here we go, everyone. There we go. All right, everyone. That was lovely meditation. Wow, it was very strong. Thank you again. I'll post this on YouTube probably tomorrow. And if you want to watch the replay, it'll be there. Thanks again for joining today. Have a beautiful night. And I was just looking at the chat from earlier and saying hello to our friend in the UK who should not be awake at this time, but thank you for joining. And yeah, there was those little fun things happening. So thanks for the comments. All right, everyone. Have a great sleep. Drink lots of water because that was pretty intense. All right. Good night, everyone.